I guess as you evaluate the Kearney game, so you got another night in which did a lot of things well and just mistakes again.
We did do some good things well offensively, defensively, and even on special teams. You know, when you go back and look at that game, it's a game of us, shooting ourselves in the foot with different situations, whether it's, getting beat on some deep balls, which I believe they had 3, that cost us, but they're very good at play action and really selling the run and getting those guys behind you. And then offensively, a couple turnovers that cost us as well. And then, on special teams, the kick out of bounds doesn't help. Missed a field goal, and then we missed an extra point. So, we had a good team meeting yesterday, just kind of going through everything that happened in that game. So there's really no way that one side could point at the other side and say, hey, it was your fault. That this is a team effort, and we're all in this together. And there's a lot of things that we could have changed in that ball game to help us win that ball game. And we didn't do those things. So hopefully, we continue. I mean, I think each week we continue to get better, and you can see that. I mean, we held them underneath 300 yards, before the game, which is very impressive against an offense like that. And I thought offensively we played well. Just 2 turnovers killed us. So we just got to keep grinding, keep working, stay together as a team, focus, locked in, and continue to understand that we still got 6 games left, and this can still be a very good season. I mean, when you look at 6-5 or 7-4 in our conference, that's still a pretty darn good season.
Problems for the defense?
Just his pocket presence. He's very calm in the pocket. He doesn't get rattled very easy. His O-line does a good job of protecting him. So I think that's it. He reads his keys pretty well too, and he knows where he's going to throw the ball, pretty quickly, because he doesn't really hang on to the ball that long. So when you got a quarterback like that can read pretty quick and know exactly where he's going to throw it, it's hard to get pressure, on him. So our D-line's got to do a good job of, if they're not getting a pass rush, of getting their hands up and just trying to knock balls down. So, and he's very deceptive with the ball through play action as well. He does sell the ball very well, sell the run very well, and he's able to give himself some time to throw the ball as well. So just trying to get the ball out of his hands quicker, getting our hands up, knowing that he's going to get out of his hands quick, and then get some pressure on him. And hopefully, just kind of pressure him, make him feel the heat a little bit, and give us an opportunity to hopefully get some turnovers.
You mentioned turnovers. 2 weeks ago was the fumbles, and did a good job of clearing that up, and you had the 3 interceptions. Have you been able to put your finger on why the turnover, the giveaways are up this year, and is the trend is going?
When you look at the turnovers, against Kearney, it was, one was a bad decision. I mean, that's just completely what it was. Didn't have a guy run the correct route, and then we tried to force it. The other 2, I was like, one bounces off a running back's head and goes straight up in the air. I mean, how often do you see that? We throw that ball 5 yards deeper, it's probably a touchdown. And then the one, across the middle, you still look at that when you think Manny has the ball, when actually their defender has it. So really those 2 are just, I still look at those ones and say that's unbelievable. Those are 2 turnovers, and really we probably should have only had the 1, which would have been a bad decision. But it's just focusing on it and making sure we're not forcing things, make sure we continue to do ball drills in practice and stress ball security and do the things that we need to do to keep holding on to the ball. And, also I think on third downs we need to do a better job on third downs of converting those. And if we can work on those things in practice this week, I think our offense can really get rolling.
You got a chance back at quarterback this last week, but then dinged up his shoulder. Dawson came in. What's the quarterback situation looking like for this week?
We'll just see. Chance went to the doctor yesterday, and we're trying to have, still evaluating him to see how he moves and how he feels. And again, it's going to come down to, how we feel that he is. To us, we always want every kid 100%, but right now in the season, not one kid on our team is 100%, so we got to keep him at least in that 90% range of, we feel good about him being on the field and being able to protect himself. If he can do those things, he'll be our guy. But, you don't really see those things until we actually practice. Today's our first day of practice, and just kind of see him move around and see the things that he can do. And if not, we'll go with Jack again, which we are very comfortable as an offense going with him as well. We still have confidence in Chance. We got confidence in Jack, and really all 3 of those quarterbacks, even Forrester. We have confidence in him as well, because all 3 of those guys got different things that they do very well. And whoever's in there, we just got to figure out what they do best and go with those things, and what they feel more comfortable doing. And when you do that, you can have you can be very successful, offensively.
You mentioned the defense holding Kearney under 300 yards. Talked a lot before the season how young the defense was. This maybe discuss a little bit about their maturity and where they've developed to this point? It seems like every week they get a little bit better.
They do. I mean, it's just, a lot of young guys that haven't had a lot of experience playing the game, and until you actually get in there and physically play it, and there's the mental part to it as well. It's hard to understand what the MIAA football is all about, and they're getting that experience week in and week out, and they're just progressing, and getting better every single week. You can see, our D line really with their hand placements, they're playing faster, they're getting their reads better, they're squeezing better, they're taking on double teams and letting our linebackers run, and then you can even see in the secondary that our guys are getting more comfortable in the secondary playing against faster wide receivers than what they're used to in practice. So against our scout team, but and it's just the understanding of my job is important, and if I do my job right, good things will happen. And sometimes when you're a young guy, you just want to go make plays instead of just doing your job. And I think our defensive staff has done a good job of getting those guys to understand that your job on this play is important, and this is why. And they're a very motivated group too. They're young, they're eager, they're hungry, and you can see that by how they play.
What is your evaluation of how you think Chance played, considering he was off for 3 weeks with that injury? And is there a level of frustration that you just getting back and now he's facing another injury?
It's frustrating for him as well, and for us, that he has this injury, which I don't think is going to be a long season ending injury. I think it's just something that we'll see how he progresses today. But I really do think he played well. All but the one throw, right before the half is about the only mistake that I saw him, make. The one with Soto was just a play that, wow, I can't believe that happened. And those things do happen, but your quarterback's not going to be perfect in any game. Every kid wants to be perfect. They're going to make mistakes no matter what. And but I thought his performance, on Saturday was good, and it was enough for us to win that ball game. We just got to put some more things together and make things happen. But I thought he did very well.
You mentioned after the game leadership and how important it's going to be from here on out. Where's the leadership coming from this team, or maybe where does it need to come from?
I think it just needs to come from all of our kids right now, and that's in leadership to me is also just ownership and accountability, and all of our kids kind of looking at themselves, and our coaching staff as well, looking at ourselves on what we can do better. We had a good talk as a staff yesterday of we got to make sure that we don't lose these kids, and we got to make sure that they stay together as one unit, one group, and stay together as a family, and not point fingers, and look at ourselves as coaches to see what can we do better to help these kids improve on a daily basis, and it's building confidence in them, and when you see the things that they do well, praise those things, and if they're doing the things that you're not wanting them to do, making sure you address those things, but teach them what you're wanting to get done, and instead of just hounding them and breaking them down, but just being positive with them, focusing on the little things, trying to make them better, preparing them more in the film room, preparing them more just through practice, and focusing on the little things, but that's what it is. I think leadership comes from the top, and I'm the one on top, and my attitude and my character and my work ethic, is going to trickle down to these young men. And, as long as I still believe in them, and, they need to believe in themselves as well, because I truly believe this is a very good football team. I know these young men can win these games, because I know the potential is there. And so I just got to be positive with them and keep them growing and keep them maturing, and let them know that I believe in them, and good things can happen. They just need to believe in themselves and believe that this task at hand can be done. We've got 6 more games. Let's take one game at a time, and let's just see what happens.
In past weeks, you've emphasized how important it is to emphasize the running game, that everything keys off that. Is that the case again this week? And also, what do they do defensively that makes it a challenge for you?
I think every week we want to try to establish the run game, and that's probably the most important thing, as an offense that you can do, because it opens up so many different avenues for you offensively, whether it's the pass game or play action or, screen game as well. And, I think defensively, the problems they give us is, I don't know if it really is a problem. It's just that we need to get out of our own way sometimes and just go make the blocks and make the right reads, as a tailback to where we need to hit the hole and get vertical and run more physical. They're going to run basically the same defense that we run. They're going to have a 4-man front, 2 linebackers, a free safety, a down bandit, a high bandit, and 2 corners. So, I mean, it's going to be very similar to what these guys see every day, in practice through fall camp. And it's just us, getting back to the basics and focusing on the things that we need to do to get better. And that's, getting our double teams pushed, winning the one-on-one blocks, and our backs hitting the hole hard. If we do those things, I really truly think we can establish this run game. And then, third and short, second and short, we need to get those first downs and get them easily and handily, so that we can do more things. And then even on first down, let's make it 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5 to give ourselves an opportunity to run some play actions and keep Washburn's defense off balance.
Last 2 games have been going to overtime. It seems like the last 5 or 6 have come down to the wire and have been very close. You talk about that with your team? Every play matters, and maybe one in the first quarter that could decide the game?
Yeah, we do. I mean, every Monday, we have our impact plays, and we show good plays, and of course we show, bad plays as well, and how every play that when you step on the field is important, and it truly does matter because, in this conference, every team's good, and one mistake, in any game can cost you that game. Unfortunately, we've just had too many mistakes in these games that we've played. So, we got to take advantage of opportunities that they give us, because I know they're going to try to take advantage of opportunities that we give them. We just can't give them opportunities. We need to have positive plays on both sides of the ball on first and second down. Offensively on first down, we need to make it, a short, like a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, and then defensively, we need to get into 2nd and 10, 2nd and long. And then when you do those things, great things happen. So we just need to really focus on those things this week and make ourselves better as a team, and making sure we're good on first down. So, that way we can kind of dictate what happens in this game.
You mentioned that defensively they're pretty similar to what you look defensively. Does that help you in preparation this week? If so, how?
It does, just because our kids see it, because, we continuously go against each other in practice. We always do some type of session, whether it's, the 3rd down session, a blitz session, or, maybe a red zone session here and there, and, even just through fall camp. So it's just, when you practice against your defense for 3 weeks during fall camp, you pretty much know how the guys are going to align. And I think that just helps, mentally make the game a little bit easier than a normal game where you're trying to prepare for a team that you get 3 days of practice against, and you're trying to get who's the ID and where we're making our blocks to and who we're trying to get to as well. So I think it just simplifies things for us. But we're still going to do some things offensively to try to confuse them a little bit. So it's just our kids picking up those new plays, but just knowing where the guys knowing where those guys are at helps tremendously.